Actually, we have a bit of some sort like misunderstanding. Our speaker, Associate Prof. Dr. Hasmah Binti Zainuddin, have another meeting, and we will start with Dr. Emma to give some special remark on behalf of mention. And to all, welcome to UKM UNESCO training on media information literacy for academics. This training is organized by the Empowerment of Media Literacy and Digital Content Research Cluster mentioned FSSK. And special greeting to Associate Prof. Dr. Emma, Chair of mention, and our special invitation to our invited speaker should be the Associate Prof. Dr. Hasmah Binti Zainuddin from University Malaya. And our second speaker is Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim from University Infrastructure Kuala Lumpur. Before we go any further, I would like to invite all Muslim participants to start with Al-Fatihah and non-Muslim for a moment of silence or prayer. Amin. Okay, before we go any further, I would like to invite, Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Without any further ado, please let me invite Dr. Emma, Associate Professor Dr. Emma, as Chair of Mention for a welcome remark.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shahizan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning, everybody. Welcome, family members, to your day 2 of the UNESCO UKM training for MIL, Media and Information Literacy. And we hope that you guys are staying safe and healthy wherever you are. So today we have actually planned a wonderful series which includes, supposedly this morning, Datin Hasmah was supposed to talk about opportunities and challenges in research in MIL. Can I get the participants to switch off your mic? Lisa, can you switch off your mic? Yeah, thank you. And after that, we're supposed to have a session with Prof. Faridah on the media and journalism curriculum evaluation in Malaysia. And today we have participants from different universities that are here with us today. On the first round of the workshop that was conducted yesterday and on the 19th was from UKM, UMS, USM, UUM, UNIMEC, UNIMAS, and UITM. And today we are joined by other universities, our friends in UPM, USIM, Taylor's University, MMU, Utah, Sandra University, KUIM, UITM, USAS, and also UIA. So as mentioned by Dr. Shahizan, we had a technical difficulties in terms because Datin had something that she could not avoid this morning. So I was asked to sort of replace her session, but I'm not in a position to talk about research and innovation in MIL, to be honest, because I don't really have any experience in that. But I could talk a little bit about the research that we are doing here with the UNESCO MIL, just to give you guys a little bit of introduction before Prof. Faridah comes in at 10:45. So I hope you all can bear with me and allow me to brief you all a little bit about the research project that we are doing with UNESCO, and hopefully, it can give you some ideas to reach out to other organizations, maybe industries, maybe international organizations or media organizations in either in Malaysia or internationally to collaborate with all of you in terms of research. So to those who who attended the first session, where I talked about the story of the two partnership of UNESCO and also UKM. It all started with networking that was built by one of our members, Dr. Sabaria. But this is something that I would like to share with all of you is don't underestimate the power of networking, and don't underestimate the power of invitations. Because this whole research collaboration started with just an email. So whenever you receive any invitation to be part of a collaboration, to enter or to fill in some survey forms, just be brave to just contact them and say, hi, I'm really doing a lot of research on media information literacy or whatever research that you are doing, and talk a little bit of your credential or your center's credential, your department's credential, talk about the experts that you have at your department, and offer yourself to them in terms of what you can do, or what are things that you can collaborate. You can just just ask them, just ask them, so this is who we have, what are the things that we can provide. Do you think that you like to collaborate with us? So basically that is just what I did. So I just replied Dr. Ming's email, and then I said, Dr. Ming, here in mention we have like cluster in media information literacy, and we feel that what you are doing at UNESCO Jakarta is very aligned with what we are doing here in UKM, and we feel that it's something that we would like to collaborate further. And if you do, let's just set up a meeting and then let's just discuss. So Alhamdulillah, we received favorable reply from UNESCO Jakarta, and they are also excited because they are trying to reach out to organizations, to universities, to other partners all over ASEAN countries, to become sort of their arms, their soldiers in the local context. So that is where we found how we could complement each other, because we are also doing the research in relations to media information literacy, and we see that there is an opportunity to expand more in this area, because it is the area that's in at the moment. Everybody is talking about infodemics, everybody is talking about false information, fake news, misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, and whatnot. So it is definitely something that has gotten world's attention, and it opens out a big opportunity to publish in high impact journals as well. So so that is how I started the collaboration with UNESCO, and then we sat down and then we talked about what are the areas that they wanted to look at, and what are the areas that we can improve. And part of it is that for us to reach out to this community in Malaysia, the MIL communities in Malaysia, so that we can plan further for future research, future collaboration, and future curriculum development in your own universities. So with UNESCO, we've agreed to develop or to separate the collaboration to 4 different research grants. So last year we secured almost $20 to 4 different research grants. And the first research grant is on training, which is the training that we are doing currently. So what UNESCO wanted was a training that is not just too generalized, they wanted something that is very specific to our educators, university educators community. And after that, as I mentioned in the welcoming my welcoming remarks, we want to extend after this training is workshops on curriculum development. So you will all be invited, or if you're interested to be part of that as well, we will invite you guys, and we will talk about different ways to create curriculum on MIL, and to see how this curriculum can be embedded into the subjects that you are teaching currently, or maybe you are having a curriculum revision. Kadang-kadang we have the semakan curriculum kan every few years. So at UKM we are actually currently undergoing the exercise. So we're taking the opportunity to also improve the kind of content that we are offering in our subjects. It is also interesting because the first round of the training that was held on the 19th and also 22nd of February, we actually explored and found out that different subjects can also embed MIL. And this does not just limit to journalism subjects, but also broadcasting subjects, PR subjects, advertising subjects, or even the more theoretical part of the of our media and communication subjects. So this is very interesting, and then I think we will explore more on this after we hear from Prof Faridah, who will be talking about the journalism curriculum, and then in the afternoon I'll be seeing you guys again, and Mr. Ali from MyCheck, who will be talking about different activities that we can conduct in our classes. So in the afternoon, I'll be coming in and we'll be doing a lot of games. I've actually planned for 3 games. So this afternoon, we won't be doing anything theoretical. We'll just be playing games, and then we will explore how do we want to implement these kind of games. We want to develop new localized content that we can be inspired by these games and try to develop our own content. And also we want to try to see how do we want to attract our students. How do we want to get our students to be interested with MIL, with doing fact checking and things like that. So that will be in later in the afternoon. And then on the second day or on the third day of your training, we will go deeper to talk about the policies that's available and looking at the media education landscape on MIL. And we will end with a little workshop on thinking about how can we embed curriculum that is related to MIL into our own subjects. So yeah, so I'm because I'm a bit bidang terjun this morning, so I've actually wanted to also tell you a little bit about the second and the third research and the fourth research with UNESCO. And those research are actually related to curriculum development. So on the first research that is headed by Dr. Azul, it is more on training. The second and the third research is developing curriculum, and that is headed by Dr. Hasrul and also Dr. Jem. So Dr. Hasrul will be focusing on curriculum for universities, and Dr. Jamaluddin will focus on curriculum for training for the industry, for government, for practitioners and whatnot. So So as you can see, you might not think that curriculum development can be a research, but it can be a research. How do we want to do this? Is through development of workshops, through conducting focus groups and surveys with our target audience. With Dr. Hasrul, he will be doing this with the students. And with Dr. Jem, you'll be doing this with a group of practitioners. So as we all know, in any types of development of any content, we need to understand our audience, right? So this is part of how the curriculum development can be parked under research. So what I'm trying to say here is that we need to also be looking on top of what we're currently doing, on top of what we're used to doing when we do research. Sometimes research can be very theoretical, but sometimes research can be very applied. And in the case of solving problems, industry problems, or society problems, we have to think more of we have to use that practical hat when we think about how do we want to attract potential funders to give us research grants. And to be honest with you, I feel that the research or application for research grant currently is very crowded, is very hard. Like for example, when KPT Mohd opens FRJS applications, there's like hundreds and hundreds of applications coming in, and that and as you all know, the funds that is given by MOHE is shrinking by the year. So it does give you a more limited opportunities to be accepted, and to me, we need to be creative in terms of where we want to try and find research grants. Datin Hasmah in the first in her talk with the first group of our participants actually talks about her own research on MIL, on digital on digital literacy that was funded by MKLand. So that is a big research grant that was funded by industry. So this is something that we probably have to think about, because and when we talk about industry as research funder, we don't necessarily have to think about media industry per se. We have to also think about the corporate bodies, banks, other organizations that have an allocation to do CSR work, to do community service work. So all these big organizations, they do have their own sort of CSR wing that allocates a certain fund to be given out either for community development, or to do programs with communities, or to do research or training. So this is an area that I feel academics haven't really penetrated into so much. And I feel there's like a sea of opportunities here that is still untapped. And I think us as social sciences researchers, as media communication researchers, we can try and go into this this route and try and explore more, because I find it is really interesting. You might also want to try like companies such as pharmaceutical companies who are actually get have a lot of money to spend on their CSR work. and they might be interested to look at to build communities, because that is part of their image building and sort of image branding as a caring institution, as a caring organization. So definitely it is something that is worth exploring. It's just that I feel that we need to be brave enough to push outside of our comfort zone, and try to approach people in these organizations and try to pitch. We need to learn their lingo when we talk about research, because in organization, in industries, sometimes they don't really see the importance of research. What they want to see is, immediate results. They wanted to see programs being held. Those are the KPIs. The research are not their KPIs. The KPIs is, how many projects did I do with, these underprivileged communities? How many, people that we have lifted out of poverty from our programs? And to be honest with you, I think MIL can do that. Digital literacy, media information literacy could actually help communities to grow, to grow out of their poverty, because it is an important education to have, especially in today's situation where we are with pandemic, right? We stayed at home almost all our the whole of 2020, and the only way to be connected is through our through our digital world. So it is something that has gotten a lot of attention, and we just have to tweak our research proposal to become something that is related to their program. And our research can be measuring the impact, pre and post impact of those programs, and we can publish. I know I have seen a lot of high impact journals that have started to recognize the importance of media and communication, and have started actually publishing studies that is related to media information literacy, especially in regards to the pandemic, COVID-19. Because we have seen there's a lot of fake news circulating the World Wide Web, and then it's so easy to be spread among communities, among societies. And publication, high impact publications, they actually realize this, and they want to listen to the localized fake news examples that are not seen other places. The WHO, for example, have started their first infodemiology conference in 2020, and since then they have actually conducted 3 conferences on infodemics. So they have actually gotten public health officers worldwide to be interested in media and information literacy. They are recognizing how fake news, misinformation, disinformation can actually worsen the pandemic, and they are worried that there's a lot of untruth that's circulating the communities regarding vaccination. I'm sure you all have heard as well some rumors about vaccination, and some are very absurd, like it's connected to Dajjal, and it's connected to all this Illuminati and things like that. But some things are actually quite subtle. And these are the things that will fire up, all these anti-vaxxers communities, to give power to them to voice up, to actually spread more untruth to our to society. So I feel that it is definitely something that is worth exploring. Although the bidang or the Dr. Zul, can you switch off your mic? Okay. So I feel that it is definitely something that is worth exploring. I believe that media information literacy is the future. It is the future for us, media and communication researchers, and it's very it's kesian lah. I mean, it's something that is, if we don't seize this opportunity, we'll be left behind. So it's the time is now for media and communication researchers, media and communication scholars to take center stage, and to do and to champion research innovation that is related to media information literacy. And we can start by education, we can start by curriculum development, we can start by training our communities, and reaching out to potential funders out there, industries that is not just limited to media industries or international organizations. They are very interested to invest in media and information literacy research. So yeah, I think that is all from me this morning. I hope you all can take away a little bit of something from my very impromptu speech, or very impromptu sharing this morning. I will see you all again in the afternoon with in the last session of today, to talk about the games. So get ready for that, because we will not be doing anything but playing games this afternoon. Okay, so that's all for me this morning. I pass back to you, Dr. Shahizan. Thank you.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Emma. Assalamualaikum and warmest welcome to Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim. Dr. Dah?
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, our speaker has currently with us, and thank you very much, Dr. Faridah Ibrahim, Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim. To all participants, I would like to inform the registration form link is available in the chat box for your action. I would introduce speaker for today and then let her start with her talks, Professor Dr. Faridah Ibrahim. After she delivered her talks, there will be a question and answer session afterward. So please, to all participants, all of you can write down your question in the chat box, or you may ask directly later to Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim. So ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our speaker. Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim is a professor in journalism and communication. Currently, Prof. Dr. Faridah is a head of postgraduate program in communication at Faculty of Business, Information and Human Sciences, Infrastructure, University Kuala Lumpur, UKL, and she is a former executive dean. She has served UKM with us. Thank you very much, from Dr. Faridah, for 28 years and was instrumental in positioning the prestigious Journal Communication or Malaysian Journal of Communication, UKM, to a Scopus Index Journal. She obtained a degree in Mass Communication from UITM, MA in Journalism, University of Missouri, Columbia, USA, and doctorate degree from UPM and twinning with School of Journalism and Mass Communication, University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, USA. She was a former chair for the Council of Heads of Communication Studies in Malaysia, COHEX, under a Ministry of Higher Education, a member of Board of Directors bernama Finance and TV Al-Istrah. Her area specialization include journalism, communication, and media ethics. She was a former journalist in a national newspaper, Tusan Malaysia, isn't it, Prof?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tusan Malaysia. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I handed the session to Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim with a speech on media and journalism curriculum evaluation in Malaysia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shahizan, Shazi, as I used to call him. Yeah, that's his glamorous name. Okay, good morning. Yeah, to Associate Professor Dr. Emma, and also friends. Yeah, I see today we have many more. Yeah, friends. I see Dr. Lina is here. Yeah, Karilawati is here. Quite a number. Yeah, quite a number of new names today. All right. So as Dr. Shazi has already said, my focus not much on MIL, yeah, but more on the assessment of journalism and the curriculum, yeah, for Malaysia. Right. Let me share my slide. The host, Shazi, can you disable to allow multiple sharing?
Dr. Azul?
Sekejap, Encik Usuk. Encik Usuk yang jaga dengan Dr. Hasrul.
Okay, Prof, you can share now.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, my sisters, brothers. All right, my focus is on media and journalism curriculum evaluation in Malaysia. Basically, the area that I'll be focusing or perhaps briefing and highlighting is basically more of my simple observation, yeah, of the journalism curriculum, because I've not been teaching journalism for quite a while, ever since I joined UKM, but I was a journalism lecturer in UKM, yeah, but I do have been keeping on the development of journalism, because I am the jury, yeah, for Malaysian Press Institute when it comes to media award, and it's a yearly process for me, yeah, the evaluation. So I got to see the development, yeah, in the industry. All right, I would start with the current scenario, yeah, basically the state of the art. Yeah, everybody know, yeah, especially those in journalism, yeah, for that matter, even people in PR, film, or advertising, yeah, any media studies, you are familiar with this, whereby, yeah, we often heard of journalism is in a crisis, and that was like about by Hearst in 2011. That's about like 11 years back. Yeah, it was not that long. And the problem is that, yeah, we have the era of globalization, and we have the onslaught of new media coming in. So we have this tussle between traditional media versus new media, and we got to see the decline in the newspaper readership and increasing interest in audio, visual, and mobile media content. All over the world, there are a couple of newspapers, established newspapers, who have to close down. Yeah, even in Malaysia itself, my previous newspaper where I work, Putusan Malaysia, was closed down for a while. Yeah, and it's such a sad thing, yeah, because Putusan has been a very, very dominant newspaper in Malaysia. Yeah. However, they have new investor and they are back. Yeah, they are back in business, but I would say they are struggling. Yeah, they are struggling. In terms of the Malay newspapers, I would say that Sinar Harian is really picking up, yeah, very well there. So we have news, yeah, that is distributed via multifarious social media channels, such as Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and viewed on mobile devices, smartphones, yeah, iPad, rather than print media, right? So if we want to survive, yeah, especially in journalism, we need to reinvent ourselves, right? So we can see that not only journalism is in a crisis, journalism education also need to respond to the onslaught of social media. All right, and this question has been a very critical question that has been raised in UNESCO and also by journalism schools all over the world. Yeah, right. Malaysia is without exception. So our question is, how can journalism education, yeah, especially when we talk about journalism education, we cannot just limit to journalism, but also media. Yeah, also media, because it is aligned with journalism. So how do we continue to renew, yeah, ourselves? And there are two situations that we need to evaluate. Yeah, basically, we have been established schools, yeah, since the 70s, yeah, and we have the historical lineage trajectories that we have gone through, and to move to a new dimension, yeah, under the globalized age, yeah, it would take some great effort, all right, and some sensitivity on our side, yeah, in terms of upgrading the knowledge, the application, yeah, as well as the literacy. So we need to renegotiate the future trajectory of media and journalism education. If we fail to do that, perhaps we be drowned, yeah, in the onslaught of new media and also globalization. Right. We look at the situation before and now. Yeah, during the conventional journalism age, yeah, I know that quite a number of us are in the media. Yeah, we were practitioners. Yeah, before we joined the uh, academia. Yeah, I myself from practicing. I know Dr. Shazi also. We have Dr. Lina, yeah, from Taylor's also we were practicing, and even Dr. Emma, yeah, was also in the industry, yeah, before joining the academia. So basically, we look at the situation. Journalists are figures of authority, and we have a great access to news sources. You just name it. It's so easy for us to be in touch with the higher up, yeah, the ministers, the government officials, yeah, all the credible news sources that we need to add on in our news. All right, and then we know that the editors, editor-in-chief, they are the gatekeepers. They set the news agenda, and also during those days, we have a good trust, yeah, public trust on what we print or what we broadcast. A very strong trust on us, and we tell accurate, fair, objective, and very fast news, yeah, quick news, and audience rely on conventional news sources. All right, that was before, but now there's a different, yeah, a different ball game. Internet has transformed the news industry. The social media, or SOCMED, we call it, sites affecting the nature of a journalistic identity, transform how journalists are viewed, and then we see the rise of CJ, yes, citizen journalists, and also Mojo, the mobile journalists, and we know pretty well that being CJ and being Mojo, they do not follow the linear path. Yeah, they don't follow the formal education in journalism or media studies. Yeah, that we are engaged in passing the knowledge to the students. Yeah, and normally these people are those who are good in language. Yeah, you are good with IT, they are IT savvy, all right, and they can handle the technology, yeah, within seconds. And the moment they have something to broadcast, yeah, they will just take to it. Yeah, it's so easy. They don't need the traditional understanding of what journalism and media studies are all about. Yeah, they don't go to the traditional school, right? So because of the new technology here, right, they're very, very IT savvy. So we have the rise of CJ and Mojo, and they are a great competitor to our graduates, yeah, who go through the formal education in journalism, education, and media. All right, and the audience at this current time, they are very, very IT savvy, right, and they are no longer the passive earlier generation who wait for the news and digest the news. But today they are very, very proactive. They create and they judge, yeah, and create your own content. So this is a great challenge to journalism today. All right. In terms of curriculum, I'm sure several of you have gone through, yeah, the conventional, traditional, yeah, journalism. Yeah, I taught news writing and reporting ever since I joined UKM, and that goes on for years. Yeah, handling 100 students, yeah, in one class. All right, I know a couple of you were from my class. All right, and we have news editing. Yeah, news editing that really make you great journalists. Yeah, great writers because you learn the formal editing process. Not today. Today you can use Ginger. Yeah, you use what do you call it? Uh, thesaurus. Yeah, to create words, all that. Okay. But under news editing is the very, very what do you call it? Very, very systematized way of understanding news editing. We have editorial writing, feature writing, newspaper production, magazine publishing, global journalism. All these are from the old school, right? But now, yeah, you are going into the new generation, yeah, for Gen Y and the millennials. We have journalism 2.0, all right? And you get to see some of the schools, journalism schools in Malaysia. Yeah, they already have, yeah, web journalism. I know UKM has online journalism, data journalism, right? Mobile journalism, digital journalism. We have CJ, and we have also media convergence, and the list can go on and on under journalism 2.0. All right, so looking at the situation, yeah, looking at the current situation, we have to stay relevant. And staying relevant means there is a need to integrate the use of social media and mobile media 2.0, yeah, this created by O'Reilly 2005, within the delivery of media and journalism courses. The pedagogy have changed. Yeah, we moved to pedagogy 2.0, a critical framework for integrating SOCMED in journalism education. Focus upon learner-generated content and learner-generated context rather than teacher-generated content. So basically now you are producing graduates who are very holistic, who generate their own content and their own context. It's no longer us who, you know, who guide them, who really preach in terms of our content, yeah, from the educators' point of view, all right? But today it's no longer that. Our graduates are very, very critical, yeah, creative. They generate their own content and context. We need to increase in terms of communities of practice, COP, whereby we have, this is being introduced by Lavi and Wanga under social learning theory, yeah, whereby COP means you empower the community to participate fully and full engaged, yeah, compared to before they are just on the periphery, you know, on the side. But now they are with new media, yeah, with social media, they are very, very involved in whatever we are doing, right? And we need to meet the needs and the needs of the industry and the changing ecosystem. The industries out there are also changing because if they don't change, then they'll be drowned, yeah, in the new technology. So they have to really buckle up, and they also have to introduce new interface, yeah, using of social media in their news, right? Regardless whether it is broadcasting or print or online, yeah. So they have to really marry in terms of using social media, right? So we could see that there is this social media convergence in our journalism school, right? And hence there is a dire need to see the implication of SOCMED in education, especially in journalism and media, right? And to fit the need of the current generation. So my other part of my lecture, yeah, my talk will be covering on some of the side or the good side, the dimension of social media. I know you guys are all the young generation, yeah, and yeah, you mentioned YouTube, Instagram, yeah, the Insta generation, yeah, yeah, you are familiar with all that, but I'm going to just introduce you the importance, yeah, or the ingredient that we have in the social media. All right, so basically what is social media? It is a digital tool or venue that allows individuals to socialize on the web. A social network is a social structure of individuals and or organizations that are tied together in some manner. And if we look at the social media, there are several major categories for social networks. Broadly based general social network sites seek to appeal to all demographics, right? So we talk about demographics, the old, the young, yeah, the school kids, yeah, they are exposed to social media. And the most well-known one is, of course, Facebook, yeah, which is the most well-known general social network site. And we have a niche social networking site focuses on an interest, hobby, or demographic group, such as the LinkedIn, offer interactions between business people. I might add also among scholars. You get to meet all your scholar friends on the LinkedIn, all right? And you keep in touch with them. All right. So it'd be great. Yeah. I know that every one of you here have that network. Yeah. LinkedIn and make full use of it. All right. If we look at some of the social sites, we have the social media landscape rapidly evolves. Overall, we have the female. Yeah. Female utilize more social media compared to the male. Okay. Well, by the logic of it, the female generation in the world is bigger than the male, yeah, generation. We have Instagram. Yeah, Instagram enthusiasts tend to be young, wealthy, and female. About 60% visit Instagram daily. Two most popular tactics on Instagram are contests and crowdsourcing for photo. And it does encourage involvement and social sharing. So it will be great to merge, yeah, your journalism curricula with Insta. Yeah, in journalism, empowerment of COP is easier with Insta. And we have Facebook, the largest social media site, hosts more than 1.2 billion users worldwide, and it captures approximately 73% of social media advertising dollars. And according to Adweek, FB popularity comes from a blend of sheer size, record of publishing useful content, and the extent of interaction available, and is able to target audience mobile devices, yeah, based on individuals' activity outside of the site. So it is easy, yeah, to network with everybody because everybody have their mobile, yeah, they have their smartphone and so on. It's so easy to tap into it. We have Pinterest, the bulletin board style social site on which individuals can post photos image-based articles about events, special interests, or hobbies, and it hosts about 70 million people, with 70% are female, gay, female. And its biggest advantage is that, yeah, it gives good, good coverage of features, yeah, topics on fashion and dining. And we have companies, big companies like Amazon, Walmart, yeah, Apple, Netflix, yeah, they're very, very into Pinterest. And if you look at journalism, yeah, it would be good if journalists, especially fashion journalists or lifestyle journalists, yeah, make full use of Pinterest. Yeah, and if we can incorporate, yeah, Pinterest in our journalism education, yeah, that would be great, good practice for our future students. All right, YouTube, yeah, I can see that a couple of our communication educators, yeah, right now, yeah, you have a couple of them who come up on YouTube, yeah, every now and then you bump into them. So it's good, yeah. You can see that, yeah, we can see that our journalism and media schools are keeping abreast, yeah, with the current technology, right? So YouTube is the fastest growing area and social media network involve posting videos, especially on YouTube. It creates venue for fans to interact with brands or current issues. They move from being passive to passionate fans who use video to share thoughts. And you have the second trend includes video reviews. Audience create videos in which they talk about the news and their experiences, and posting of how-to videos, right? So we also encourage, yeah, need to encourage our students, yeah, to use YouTube also to post their projects. All right, and some of the, I would say, the benefits, yeah, of the social media. All right, basically what they have is that they are more involved when news messages feature compelling and interesting content. So no longer are we, yeah, are going to be stuck in the old school, yeah, because the generation that come into our schools, our J schools, and also media schools are those IT savvy generation. I call it, I call them the iPad generation. Yeah. So we have, when we use social media, so there are a couple of technology that we can use, yeah, networking that we can use. It could be content seeding, real-time news breaking, yeah, influencer, video footage, consumer-generated review, viral news, interactive blog, right? So these are some of the areas that perhaps we can really inch into, yeah, when it comes to educating our young generation, yeah, in journalism school or media school. Under content seeding, offering audience incentive to share content about certain issues, yeah, especially the people in CJ or Mojo. It can be information, uniqueness of anything that engages and motivates them to share. It's a form of seeding, yeah, and seeding can come in the form of various incentive, perhaps financial incentive, and this will make audience feel, feel special. All right, this is how we create loyalty, yeah, among our readers or our viewers. Right? Already we are talking about losing in terms of readership, yeah, with the traditional media. So this social media network, yeah, would be an alternative for us, yeah, to really double up our viewers, yeah. All right, we have real-time news breaking, which is very important in journalism, yeah, news breaking story. So it's the creation of circulation of an instantaneous message in response to and in conjunction with an occurrence during a live event, and seeking human emotion and reaction to live events, and offering audience incentive to share content about certain issues. So nowadays we have media station, yeah, TV station, newsprint and so on. Yeah, we hold on also to CJ and Mojo because sometimes they are the earliest to reach some news breaking site. So we get their footage, yeah, and we pay some amount of incentive for them. We have the influencers, yeah, like we know about marketing, yeah, that make full use of influencer nowadays. Yeah, they have to compete between celebrity and influencer. Sometimes influencer are more effective, right? So involve an individual endorsing issues on social media site. So journalism and media, you can capitalize on influencer to bring in crowd, yeah, or increase in terms of your audienceship, yeah, and your viewership. All right, next is video footage. YouTube and other video sharing platform present unique opportunities. We have media companies produce two types of video for online posts. One is instructional, the other one is informational. And another approach involves posting of videos with PR and cost-related marketing messages, and being individual to discuss certain issues, create video and call them vlogger. And then we have the audience-generated review, which I already mentioned just now in terms of introducing or having a convergence of social media in your journalism classes. All right, you are able to have empowerment in terms of COP, yeah, communities of practice, and also in terms of audience-generated content and audience-generated context. All right, we are slowly moving away from lecturer-generated content. Right, those are from the old school. Right, and then we have the viral news. Yeah, it has its what do you call it, the positive side of it and the negative side of it. Yeah, viral, you read, you get to see viral news, yeah, every now and then, yeah, on your smartphone. All right, it could be gossipy news, it could be misinformation, it can be disinformation. But we, understanding the situation, understanding fake news, we make full use of viral news to viral positive news. Yeah, to viral. We are using what you call it, information warfare. Yeah, whereby we are using the advantage of viral news to viral good news, to viral positive news. All right, and not fake news. All right, this is how we can counter, yeah, the fake news and misinformation that is out there. Yeah, we use the same platform, which is, yeah, viral. Just like in organization, sometimes we need to use grapeviners. Yeah, we feed information to the grapevine. We know that it is going to reach the audience, right? So we feed information through viral news because we know everybody, the whole world is going to read about it. All right. So being a trained journalist or media practitioners, we make full use of viral platform to give the right news, yeah, to give, yeah, the right information. Okay, and then we have interactive blog. Yeah, it permits visitors to send comments or posts, making them another important component of social media. And we got to see that blogs that affect followers and encourage active participation become very powerful. And we got to see journalists, our current journalists, yeah, apart from the day-to-day distribution of information, yeah, via the online channel, they themselves, yeah, each journalist also have their own blogs. All right, so that is how, yeah, we capitalize on, yeah, audience viewership. So why journalism 2.0? So basically, it is very current. Yeah, it is something that we have to do now. All right, and if once upon a time, yeah, we talk about traditional media, and traditional media is slowly dying. Yeah, but with journalism 2.0, we are able to create traffic again one more time. Yeah, enhance news circulation, increase news exposure, engage in audience. Yeah, nowadays we are talking about interactivity. Yeah, so this is how we can do it. Yeah, through journalism 2.0, enhance interactivity and develop loyal news fans. All right, and if we look at the current focus in media and journalism education in Malaysia, we incorporate mobile web 2.0 and social media in journalism and media curricula. It is authentic. Yeah, you know, once upon a time we really need on the studio, yeah, to to provide the platform for our students to do their practical work. Yeah, but nowadays with smartphone, they can do it just outside. Yeah, it's so easy using smartphone. They can produce good quality videos. Yeah, film, right? Short film, just using smartphone. All right. We embed the use of Twitter in class. Blogs are used where students were required to comment and post comment. And we have like journalism, broadcast, broadcast journalism, advertising, public relations, using smartphones, camera phone, iPhone, for recording and footage, especially for the student project. Lessons from World Journalism School, Missouri, Columbia, Wisconsin, Texas, Austin. J School said that because today's tool, du jour, might be obsolete by the time our students graduate. So we have to be on the alert. Yeah, we have to expose our students to all this paraphernalia in the new tools, in the new technology, social media. We need to have critical skills, right? Of course, we have underlined this in our blueprint. The blueprint, which is the pathway for communication studies, which during my time, I was the chair for COHEX, Council of Heads of Communication Educators in Malaysia. And in 2010, based on research with the media, with the journalism, with the media schools and journalism schools, and also with students and graduates, we come out with some of the executive summaries and suggestion, in the book, right? And out of that, that was done like 21 years ago. We identify critical skills. We do identify strategic skills, innovation, patriotism, worldview, which are very important to inculcate, to be inculcated in our media and journalism school. All right, and already it is there. It is there in COHEX blueprint. It's just that it's 2010. I would suggest that the new, perhaps, MACE, Malaysian Association of Communication Educators, now under Prof. Dr. Yahya, perhaps you can revisit on the need to have, to have this suggestion, to have perhaps revisit COHEX, then you have new research, and then could be your blueprint, for the next 10 years. All right, so I would say that this is something that is very important. In fact, when we were given the mandate, to create COHEX, this council, actually at that time, in 2006, 09, 2009, like that, already the Ministry of Higher Education have identified media and communication school as a very critical area in Malaysia, right? There is not many councils that are being established during that time. Ours is in the art, I know that, I remember the other schools that the ministry identify as critical. Of course, medicine, medicine is very critical, pharmacy, dentistry, all right? And language is not, language is not there. Media and communication is there, we have business, accounts, and surprisingly, music. Music is considered as very, very critical. Yeah, I think perhaps you can think why music, yeah, is supposed to be a critical area, yeah, under the Ministry of Higher Education. All right, but one thing that I would stress that is media and communication, right? So I think we should work on the second cohex, right? 7 pointers by the world top 3J school in the world. They said that, okay, the first one is focused on storytelling, ability to communicate and focal point, using digital communication input, creating graduates, the T-shaped graduates who are very holistic and well-rounded, very specialized, digital agility, yeah, video, the one that I've been talking about, that we marry traditional journalism and the new, yeah, social media, real world and professional experiences, strategic thinking, understanding audience, and media literacy is very, very important. Teamwork is very important. I think you have that in every time when we have projects. Yeah, but our students, they are encouraged to be in teamwork, work in team. And the content packages, multifaceted storytelling and multimedia features. All right, so these are very important that has been identified by the 3G school in the world. What are the positive impact of journalism 2.0? Enhanced media information literacy, MIL. The focus of our workshop actually. Students who are the iPad generation are empowered by the use of blogging and other social media as a form of expression, reflection, and critique. Bridge the gap between students' classroom learning environment and students' informal learning experience in the real world. Enhance their learning experience, harness their journalistic professionalism, and enable student-generated content and student-generated learning context. So these are the 7 the positive impact of journalism 2.0. I'm finishing, Dr. Shazi, a little bit more. How to, what are the pitfalls? Yeah, we have the good side of journalism 2.0. There is also the pitfall. Basically, how to filter huge volumes of information overload. Yeah, with new technology, with internet, we have lots of information. And how do we, filter it? Especially when we are given, yeah, with a lot of information on fake news, misinformation, disinformation, and how do we filter it, right? Last week in Dr. Emma's class, the game, yeah, you'll be having that this afternoon, talking about credibility, yeah, fake news. How do we fight fake news? We have to look at the sources, yeah, credible sources. All right. So how to build a community of practice? Yeah, getting empowerment on our community, right? Getting them engaged with us. Yeah, who is good to follow and who will fill their inbox with irrelevant information. How to identify fake Twitter accounts, and how to instill the awareness that social media is a public forum and requires professional behavior. All right, we are faced with such challenges. Yeah, as I said, we have the mojo, we have the citizen journalists who are great providers of news. Yeah, and yet, when it comes to professional behavior, yeah, because they are not trained. Yeah, the formal way of journalism or media education is not there with them. All right, so we are faced with challenges. Yeah, having these people providing information to us. As a conclusion, yeah, media information literacy is an option, right? And if you look at literacy, has always been a coalition of communicative and social cultural practices shared among communities. And a literate person possess and intentionally apply to a wide range of skills, competencies, knowledge, and disposition, as well as attitudes. All right, this is being underlined by UNESCO, yeah, blueprint for MIL, yeah, for media information literacy. And as a global citizen, we must be able to participate effectively and critically in a network world. These are instances whereby you need to inculcate, within your students, right? Explore and engage critically and thoughtfully and across a wide variety, inclusive of texts and tools. And we focus on the 3 C's, consume, curate, create actively across context. Consume is basically you as a consumer, you have to be very, very critical, in terms of what to believe and not to believe, you have to be curate, meaning to say ethical and professional, in your work, and create, you have to be very creative in terms of appealing to the imagination and also appealing to the current generation, who are very, very IT savvy. Examine the rights, responsibilities, and ethical implications of the use and misuse of information and misinformation. Recognize and honor multilingual literary identities and cultural experiences. Build and sustain global intercultural connectedness and solve problems collaboratively and share responsibility and promote critical literacy online and offline. So these are few pointers, in MIL, that is being proposed by MIL, Media Information Literacy, in terms of how we can inculcate all these features in our graduates, so that they will come out as T generation, very holistic and very, very sensitive, towards society. All right, so I think that's all, from me. All right, thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim, for a wonderful sharing session. Alhamdulillah. And to all participants, if you have any question or opinion, please just unmute your microphone and ask directly to Prof. Dr. Faridah Ibrahim, or write down your question in the chat box. Is it any question? Is there any question or opinion? Oh. Okay, if there are no question and no opinion, Alhamdulillah, everybody has. Is it any question, Dr. Azul?
No
or any
question.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this we can so-called as a sharing session. And before we end the training for the live, Azul.
One question for Dr. Faridah.
Okay.
How can we blend, especially digital technology or communication technology, especially like big data or artificial intelligence in journalism studies?
Basically, you need to understand, all right, which digital platform that you want to merge. What is important is you have the content. Of course, the content normally will come from the traditional knowledge that you have. You cannot put aside the traditional knowledge because the content is very, very important. The digital platform will be a plus in terms of making it more understanding, more attractive, more compelling to the audience, because we are not talking about passive audience anymore. We are talking about active audience. Those are very, very IT savvy. So you need to blend both. But of course you cannot put aside the content. Everything that is big data, It's very technical. The gist of it have to be there. Yeah, the gist of it is the content. Yeah, that is very, very important. So you don't put aside whatever that you have developed previously, the knowledge that you have got from your master's, PhD. Yeah, it is very, very important. Yeah, it's just the current challenge is that you have to blend it with new technology.
Do you think we need to what we consider in our curriculum or syllabus, we need to add information management in the course, especially to make sure that all the students know how to manage their information and etc.
I think perhaps journalism school or media school will have some constraint there, but what we can do is you offer elective. Yeah, offer elective. Perhaps they can take elective from other schools that are well endowed, well versed. Yeah, especially in the IT school. Yeah, so our curriculum shouldn't be rigid anymore. Yeah, in fact, if you look at MQA, they do have electives. Yeah, and that's where you have the electives. Big data, knowledge management. You can do it in from the IT school. Yeah, every university have the IT. It's just that how you're going to manage your curriculum.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Hi, Prof. I have a question.
Hi, Dr. Lina.
Can I ask a question? I do agree with you in terms of like the J school now, they're not as strong as it was like 20 years ago, right? One of the main reasons is because students don't like to read. They don't like to read, they don't like to write. So our argument about you need to read to write doesn't work anymore because of this laziness, all right? You're correct when you say social media gives you a lot of information, and because of that also they become very lazy. Okay, it's the same problem with the journalists out there, all right? Because we are ex-journalists, we used to practice, and the fact that we're sitting on the outside looking in is very sad.
Yes.
Because this fact checking doesn't work. They're too lazy to check, and then everything that goes viral is not checked. So for people who say that they are gatekeepers, they're not doing their jobs. They're supposed to protect the fourth estate, but they're not. So how do we get good students to actually do journalism? I mean, we have the curriculum, we have merged everything, 2.0, what have you, but it's still not working. The students just are taking journalism as a minor now.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a very tough question. Yeah, Dr. Lina. I'm glad that I'm not teaching journalism. Yeah, but you are.
I am.
You are. But I can see your curriculum. It is very, very refreshing. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, the way you bring in students to enjoy your class. All right. Make them critically aware. Yeah, you create critical thinking among them. So I think we have to do that. Yeah, bring in new ideas, creative ideas. Right. I have followed Dr. Emma last week. Yeah, in her workshop. Yeah, it's very interesting. So those are areas that we can bring in. Yeah, we can bring in, make them think. Yeah. So our student is no longer like what we used to have before. Yeah, when I teach my journalism. Yeah, in UKM. Yeah, news writing and reporting. All right, it's very, very, very basic. But of course, coming from J school in US, yeah, I graduated from the top 3 J school in US. I give deadline writing to my students. All right, I give them assignments. They have to go out there and then during that class time, go and search for your news and come back and write your news. All right, that's one area, yeah, that we can add on to that, yeah, deadline writing. Other than that, you have to really create, yeah, whereby you make them, to think critically, yeah, to be evaluative, and also to work in team, yeah, in teamwork, whereby they can really come up with the best idea, right? So it is no longer the usual, student to, just a one-way interaction between lecturer and student. It's no longer that, yeah. Again, as we can see some of the suggestion from the top J school, yeah, they want students to generate their own content. All right, they want students to generate their own context. So we have to go along that line. We have to encourage them to do that. Encourage them to do what they like. All right, rather than telling them that that is what you want. Right? So it has to come from them. I think getting them engaged in that sense, it will sort of make them feel empowered. Yeah, I would say that what you are doing are really good already. Yeah, with your broadcast student.
I follow your lead and do the deadline thing,
Writing.
right? Yes, the deadline writing, and I tell my students I only have one rule for deadlines: you miss my deadline, you die.
Yeah.
I tell that to the students because I said I come from the industry. Deadlines is money. So if you miss that deadline, that's money lost. So that is something that the students need to understand about deadlines. They just think it's our deadlines. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in journalism and media. Yeah, everything is about deadline. And especially now, yeah, you have the new media. Yeah, the moment things happen, is already out there. All right, you get to read it. Yeah, on the social network, on the internet, you got to see it. All right, very fast. Like what happened in MH370, we knew about it from the Facebook. Yeah, like half an hour after the incident happened. All right, it's very, very fast. But to wait for the official announcement, you have to wait the next day, 10 o'clock. Yeah, that's a long, long time. So it does not work that way anymore. All right, journalism is very, very fast, especially news breaking. Yeah, it's very, very fast. So we have to really adjust to the current, to the current situation. So what more, we are preparing future journalists, future media people, where they are going out, yeah, and experience. So we have to do that in our class, So yeah, we have to do a lot of reinventing, our curriculum.
Kada,
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
I join in the discussion?
Sure, Jam.
All right. I think I have to kind of disagree with Dr. Lina because I think,
Okay.
there's a saying that youth is always wasted by the young. In the sense that when we say that the youngs are not reading or not writing, actually they do read, they do write, but they are not reading what we want them to read, or they don't write what we want them to write. Basically, if you look at them, they produce a lot of content for the media, but it's not the kind of content that we will say, oh, this is what we want in journalism school. But I'm not saying that we ourselves have to change because of that, because I think we have our structure, our standard that we have to fulfill. But I think just like you said, now the philosophy of education itself has shifted from sage position as teaching to student-centered, like student initiating activities, because they need to make sense of what's going on around them. So because the thing is, because when we teach, when we say, oh, you read this, or when Dr. Lina says, okay, this deadline becomes my deadline rather than deadline. Because actually, one of the things that we have, one of the issues that we have is we don't try to make sense of the world or their world. Therefore, they cannot make sense of what we are saying. So it's basically trying to make sense, us making sense and them making sense of what's going on. I think if we both can make sense of each other, it's easier to impart knowledge, to work together with the students. I have a 20-year-old son, as well, you know, and for people to say that young people don't read, he reads, but it's not reading the kind of thing that I read. Sometimes what he reads is more advanced than what I'm reading, you know. But what I'm saying is a better understanding of the philosophy of the education, in which teacher is no longer the center of knowledge. The students should be made to think about what they want to learn. They can make that choice of what they want to learn, how they want to learn as well. So basically, it's about shifting from us to them and giving them the obligation to choose what they want. I think because the generation now, they think they know what they want as well, you know. So I think it will be more productive if we stop judging, but working with them, you know, judging them, saying, oh, they're not doing this. Because, you know, even I think most of us also, we don't follow what our parents said anyway. So each generation has its own challenge and wants and demands, you know. But I think, Kada, the question that I would like to raise is the future of journalism itself. With artificial intelligence, with the OT coming in, and you know that journalism might be replaced, human journalists might be replaced by technology soon, you know. So I've been wondering, because I asked this question to Dr. Mohd as well, but I think because you work on a book on ethics of journalism as well, I've been wondering, you know, with the new technology, news being created by machines rather than human beings, don't you think that the future of journalism ethics actually lie in let's say the big data, data mining, as well as you know, what do you call that, data analysis, you know, in the sense that they can predict what news people would like to read, what news will be viral, and whatnot. So that in a way can replace. But what is most important for me is the fact that it's not just producing the news, but the ethics of producing the news has shifted from us as human beings to the machine itself. So it's like, you know, mining, data mining, data analytics, and whatnot, because they can predict. Just like I think if you are familiar with the film, Tom Cruise film Minority Report, in which somebody can be caught for committing crime that he or she might be committing in future. So it's almost like you can predict that this journalist has the tendency to produce disinformation rather than, you know, other things. So I've been thinking, what is your take on that? Because you were talking about the need for us to marry traditional journalism with big data analysis and whatnot. So would the future of journalism ethic lie on the big data?
Right, that's a good, that's a good comment from Dr. Jem. Perhaps before I answer, perhaps Lina, you want to just clarify in some of the things that Dr. Jem has mentioned just now. We coming from the industry, right? Mm.
The industry is very different. It was different then. It's more different now.
Mm.
Like I said just now, it's very sad looking from the outside, looking in. The fact checking is not there. Okay, we used to have editors that were very gung-ho, and it was brains. We have this, I mean, you know this joke, it's a bit vulgar, but they always say you need to have an editor that has the brains and the balls to go with it. We don't have that now, all right? So in terms of the training that I got when I was in industry, it's the same training that I give the students in my class. So I don't teach, I train. So I get very frustrated when the students don't come to class. So this training that goes on is similar to the training that I receive. So that's how I train. So there are certain things, I do agree with Dr. Jem, but there are certain things that they read, but they are not the things that is pertinent for class. So those are the things, because I ask my students, why are you in my class? Why are you even taking this class as an elective? It sounds easy enough because I can write. Okay, my idea is not to say that you're wrong. I just coach you to be better writers. That's basically what I do. You can have your own style. So, but you need to write in order to form these ideas. If you don't have the amount of reading that is deemed to be enough for writing, then it's going to be very difficult, because some students have this misconception that if you go and attend a writing class, is like a language class. I always stress that this is not, I don't teach language, okay? I need to just start running with you, because the assumption is you must have the language already. So that is also a challenge. On top of the social media, on top of the content that you want to create, I'm fine with that. But when there is an assignment that you need to fulfill in order for me to fulfill my learning outcomes for MQA, it must be fulfilled. There is no two ways about it. So my argument is always, you need to read a certain amount of things which are current in order for you to write in journalism. It's that. And that is what is not happening also with this new breed of journalists in the industry, which is very sad.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Basically, I would draw into my experience, talking to the media people, the gatekeepers, the editor-in-chief, because we have the chance to talk to them, the whole big lot of them, when I was in COHEX, we got to meet all those in one table. And of course, they raise the situation whereby we have not trained our graduates enough, in terms of their knowledge, in terms of their capabilities, and we thought that we have done great. All right, so we always need to look inside. We always need to look inside ourselves and try to blend whatever that we are providing to our graduates, that would be in line with what the industry want. Right, so that's why I said if we are revisiting COHEX, it'll be good, because then you got to see the renewed vigor among the editor-in-chief now, what they really need us to produce, in terms of our graduates. Now, back to Dr. Jam's question just now in terms of blending, in terms of content and ethics. I would say that it has to go together. The content, the deep content that we can impart to the students, and of course they are also responsible in in upgrading their knowledge through their readings. So that's where you have the student centered content, but we are there to guide them. As Dr. Lina has said just now, we are there to guide them and also to share with them the experience they have with the industry. But when we write, it has to be together with your ethical awareness, with your professional and ethical consideration. So it has to go together, all right? Especially when we are talking about the Internet of Things, whatever it takes, it is still the human that give the input. All right, computers are just computers. They will follow the lead from the human. So it's always important where it comes from. It is the human. At the end of the day, it's still the human that feed the information into the data. All right. Okay.
Thank you very much, Prof. Faridah. We got one more question. The last question from our chat box from Dr. Saufi Hassan.
Okay,
in your own word, why do some people believe in conspiracy theories? And is subjectivity in journalism alone can have overcome this problem? Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Saufi. Very tough question there. Conspiracy theory. Everybody have their own thoughts, own philosophy on things. That's how conspiracy is created. It is created from your mind, from your predisposed mind. And some people can debunk it. You yourself say that it is a conspiracy theory. So at the end of the day, it will depend on how people evaluate. All right, because basically I would like to use my famous scholar Hayakawa, yeah, and Korzybski, all right, in my semantic theory of semantic class. The map is not the territory, all right. So whatever that is conspiracy to you might not be, yeah, conspiracy to other people. It's very personalized. Yeah, it comes from your own predisposition, and your experience that you experienced early might not be the same as, yeah, experience that Dr. Shazi has experienced might not be the same as Dr. Emma has experienced. Right, so it's very what you call it, individualized. So conspiracy is like that, right? And of course, towards the end of the day, a conspiracy becomes conspiracy because, well, you have supporters supporting it, yeah, and yeah, it becomes that, right? But still cannot be validated, yeah, it cannot be validated.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dah.